Hey guys, Eli here from Nintendo Network 64. Today I want to talk about virtual reality on the Nintendo Switch, which is going to be revealed later this week. Now, a few months ago I wrote up an article on NintendoEnthusiast.com talking about the fact that we could be getting something like a Gear VR unit for the Nintendo Switch, something where you have a headset, a plastic one, and then you plug in the face of the Nintendo Switch into the back, and it would work like a phone into the back of a Gear VR. Look it up on Google Images if you don't know what it looks like. Now, there have been patents in the last few months that have come out after I wrote up this article, kind of reflecting where I saw the system going if this were the case. And today we have a little more credence from a Nintendo developer that also develops virtual reality games. This guy is named Steven Deinhardt IV. He's on Twitter as that name. And in September, he posted a tweet that said, quote, "Signed a lot of NDAs in my life. I'm not a big fan, but every time Nintendo asks, I have nothing but pure joy." Now he's put out a fuller statement talking a little bit more about VR. Here, I'm going to read it. "It should come as no surprise, about 20 years ago, Nintendo released the first home virtual reality console for consumers. Yes, you read that correctly. In 1995, to be precise, first in Japan. Despite the $20 million ad campaign in North America, Virtual Boy was a flop, one that Nintendo junkies like myself cherish to this day. It only seems natural, with the launch of Nintendo's new platform, the Switch, a modular HD game console, that VR would be on the product roadmap. Given the right specs, ones yet disclosed, there's no reason VR peripherals wouldn't show for the system, and just maybe something more. As a Nintendo and AR/VR developer, I can't say much, but I can say the fit is one made in heaven." Now, as part of the Nintendo team, few moments in my life as an emerging tech developer have filled me with such anticipation. This is one step in evolution you won't want to miss. Now, take this statement, and taking the fact that he's a VR AR developer, he's kind of teasing the fact that this could be a VR system. Now, nothing is confirmed, that's true, but the system would lend itself well to a Gear-like VR unit. You sell a plastic headset for, say, $50, $100, plug the Switch back into the back. The spec should be up for it. Sure, it might not be super high resolution. You might have similar problems as to what we would see on Sony's console with their VR unit. You know, the fidelity might not be great. The graphics might not be spectacular, but it's a cheap VR unit. It's something that could work. Now, I like to see the fact that some of these indie developers are already teasing the fact, and you do have these indie developers that do develop VR games looking like they're going to get dev kits for the Switch. Now, I doubt this would be something that we'd see at launch. In fact, I don't even think we'd see this at the Switch event coming up. I feel like it's a little bit too soon to announce something this big. I feel, first of all, you're going to need a lot more developers on board that have experience in VR development. So you're going to have to talk to a lot of Steam developers, a lot of developers who have developed for the Oculus Rift. Now, that's a much more powerful system. It requires better hardware to run. It's a better headset than anything that the Switch would be if it were something like a Gear VR unit. But it's something that they need to start doing, and I feel like once we start hearing more reports coming out from more indie developers, then we can perhaps start lending a little more credence to VR development. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I wouldn't expect seeing it at Thursday's presentation. But maybe something to keep in mind for the future, especially with the patents coming out, the fact that it would probably work, and the fact that we are now getting developers talking about it more and more. What do you guys think? Do you think the Switch is going to be a VR unit? Could it be a VR unit? And theoretically, let us know what you think in the comments below. I really appreciate it, and thanks for watching.